Tom Cruise has no intentions of making any appearances at the Oscars because he's focused on work. He's focused on actually getting things done and making more movies. I personally can't wait for Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 coming this summer. I think it's going to be amazing. But Top Gun Maverick is still a big topic of discussion because it is nominated for Best Picture, which is shocking to some people considering what a normal movie Top Gun Maverick is. It's not an Oscar bait movie. It's not something that's constantly pushing all of the agenda that Hollywood is down with. It was simply one of the best movies we'd seen in quite some time. They brought it back to basics, and some people are not happy that it's getting this much attention. And even after $1.5 billion at the box office, it had incredible home sales, video on demand and Blu-ray, all those things. And since it got nominated for Best Picture, it is by far the top stream movie right now that's out there. Oscar halo effect, Top Gun Maverick, most viewed in streaming post-nomination. Elvis has been the most watched overall. That's been out on streaming for like twice as long as Top Gun Maverick has, just for the record. But some people in the media are very unhappy with the way that Top Gun Maverick has been successful, with the fact that it's portraying the United States military in a way that isn't just the worst thing in the world. Oscars, MSNBC trashes Top Gun Maverick as insidious military propaganda. An opinion piece published by MSNBC on the eve of the Oscars has called the smash hit Top Gun Maverick the most insidious movie at the awards. It further cautions that Tom Cruise epic stands poised to become canonized as a highly decorated film, even as it salutes warfare and those who are involved in it through thinly disguised military propaganda. Yeah, there's no doubt that there's a big military aspect to this movie. At the same time, it's not sitting there and saying, look, the military is incredible. Everyone associated with the military is incredible. It's amazing. Look at all these people. Look how good they are. Look how virtuous. There's good people and there's bad people. Tom Cruise is not advanced because of the way that he rebels against these things. They show very clearly that a lot of times people that are in charge are not in touch with what the reality is. Like, they go out of their way to show that in Top Gun Maverick, and really in Top Gun to some extent as well. But people are very unhappy that it's a movie about the military where the sole focus isn't bashing the military and the people involved in it. The piece begins by acknowledging the film's success in cinematic climate where superhero and CGI animated films have saturated the silver screen. It was a breath of fresh air to see dazzling live-action aerial combat scenes involving real actors trained to withstand G-forces by real pilots and mostly real planes. After that concession to creative excellence, the embrace of already well-publicized leftist objections to the film begins. And we did see some people talk about this when it first came out, and it's still out there now. The author takes the stridently pro-masculine film to task for allegedly perpetuating myths of noble warriors fighting in a just cause. It reads, all right, let's read through this from MSNBC. But Top Gun is as insidious as it is entertaining. It does not merely revive a forgotten human-centered spectacle. It also beckons for a return to accepting the American war machine as a beacon of virtue and excitement. It's a poisonous kind of nostalgia, one that smuggles love of endless war into a celebration of live action. Now, from an actual political standpoint, and I talk about these things over on Patriot Outpost, I was in the military. I had a much different view of things when I got out of the military than I did when I was going in. And I think it is absolutely right to question some of our involvement in different things across the globe, 1,000%. But one thing that this movie is not is some kind of political propaganda. They're not talking about it's a good thing that we're getting involved here and here and here and here. That's not. It's just a simple fucking movie using the roles of the military as a backdrop for this spectacle. So the idea that these people are getting that deep with it is nuts to me, and certainly didn't bother a lot of other people out there. Top Gun is literal propaganda. In exchange for access to military aircraft, the producers of the film agreed to allow Defense Department to include its own key talking points. Perhaps equally important, the script had to be written in a manner that flatters the military in order to secure the buy-in of the Pentagon. Again, and then they go, next paragraph, they mention, yeah, sure, there's some rebellions from people in here talking about the people in charge. Yes, there were. You're glossing over the fact that there was a counter to that in the actual film itself. It should be no surprise that just like with the first Top Gun movie released in 1986, the military viewed the sequel as a promising recruitment tool and ran U.S. Air Force ads before showings of the movie with imperialistic lines like the entire sky belongs to us. While the first movie helped rehab the military's poor reputation, this one diverts from the failed war on terror and comes as defense officials eye the rise of China. I don't know if we need to put this out there, but I do not think the movie Top Gun Maverick really affected too many people's view of the United States military as a whole. I think we're a little bit past that, don't you? I don't think that a movie coming out in 2022, a movie that was watched by a lot of people around the entire world, but that had $1.5 billion in box office returns, I don't think it changed people's opinion of the military because it's a fake movie. And I think people understand that. And with all the news that's out there day to day about what's going on with the military, I really don't think this had a big effect. The author goes on to say it has no objection to anyone enjoying the film, but says, I hope it tanks at the Oscars. It's possible to make thrilling action without so brazenly priming the public for warfare. War is portrayed purely as a source of glory and camaraderie from Maverick and his colleagues, who are all attractive people and manage to pull off their daring mission with zero casualties. Holy shit. The amount of butthurt that some people are having, that a movie that doesn't just constantly preach propaganda to you, a woke agenda-based propaganda, they're so mad that it's successful. That's the real thing. If this movie was watched by no one, they wouldn't care. But it was watched by millions and millions of people and is now being nominated for awards. That they have a very big problem with. I don't anticipate Top Gun Maverick coming away with a bunch of awards at the Oscars, and frankly, it doesn't matter. The results in the box office, those matter. The excitement that people had for this movie, completely unexpected. That is what matters. And a lot of people are looking forward to see what Tom Cruise does next, because it's clear he's valuing entertainment over propaganda, which is why it's so ironic that this is what these people are talking about.